Hi there, just a brief update on Saturday, July 26th. 26th? I got a new job. Look. No, not really. But the update is, and I thought I would give you one now while we're sort of on the downside, and hopefully when we come back up to the upside, I will give you another one. So you get the full emotional journey. So I was doing some thinking and rewinding in my head about different messages I've gotten from different people about when locations are available, when they're not available, when actors are available, and when they're not available. And it turns out that the location that we are going to shoot sort of a climactic scene at, I should have said at which we're going to film a climactic scene, is we have 2 Saturdays basically available because the person who is playing Uncle Mitch, of course, you don't know who that is unless you have watched the table read, and I don't know that I've made that public or not. So trust me, he is an important character, even though he only has about 5 scenes. But the actor playing him, I have to pay him, and I can only pay him for 1 day, and he has a day job, so he wants that day to be a Saturday. And of the 2 Saturdays that the California cast is going to be here, only one of the Saturdays is available at the house, and that is a day when the young woman who is going to play Brenda, his assistant, is out of town. And I kind of put all that together, and I confirmed that this morning by looking at some past messages. So the bottom line is we need a new Brenda, which is not a huge deal because she literally only has, I think, 2 lines and then a little bit of, I wouldn't say physical comedy, sort of a reaction that hopefully is going to be humorous. So you could look at it as saying we don't need a real actress to play that part, but that would be silly to say, wouldn't it? So that happened in the morning, and then I got a text from the gentleman in reply to a couple I had sent him, and this was someone who is slated to play Bubsy, who, again, not knowing the script, you don't know who Bubsy is, but suffice it to say, he is sort of a palooka mobster who plays a pretty key role, and he has, at least, I don't know, 10 scenes, 8 scenes. So he's like the 5th biggest role in the movie, and there's really only 6 roles plus a couple of bit parts. So he has, I think it, what did I figure? Maybe 2.5 days of filming, something like that. So anyways, and so this guy is a local person who very talented, not an actor per se, but has done a lot of like stage work, singing and other thing. And I just knew from the time I met him that I sort of wrote Bubsy with him in mind. All this to say is that I was getting the sneaking suspicion because he had said in his day job he gets very busy in the fall months and he didn't know how much time he'd be able to take off, or even, a couple Saturdays or something. And so getting back to the text, after some conversations with his wife and some other people, he texted me to say, unfortunately, he would not be able to commit to the Bubsy role. And so, while not totally unexpected due to my inkling, that was obviously disappointing because he would be really good. He's a physical presence. He's like 6'4", maybe he's not 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", and would have been great. But that is water under the bridge because he can't do it. So I immediately thought, in fact, I thought several months ago, probably 6 months ago, as I was working on this and thinking in the back of my mind, what if this gentleman can't commit or something comes up? And I thought of someone who is in my previous film, The Key. So go watch The Key on Amazon right now, and then you'll know who this person is, maybe. And so I said, at the time, I was thinking, yeah, he could play Bubsy. And so I am now thinking, let's see if he can play Bubsy. So I ran it by Reese and Brett. And Brett says, sounds good to him. Reese said, let me mull it over. So he is literally mulling it over as I record this. The problem there, or not the problem, the issue is that he lives in Atlanta and we're filming in Michigan. So I would both have to pay him to get up here, and I imagine I would have to pay him, darn it, to perform the role. And because I had done, to close the loop on the previous person, I had done some work for this other guy, some editing and filming work. And I said, I won't charge you and you won't charge me for being in the film. And we were both 100% cool with that. So since that's no longer the case, I've got to figure out how much I would need to pay this person once Reese says, yeah, I think it's a good idea, which hopefully he will come to that conclusion, unless he has someone else in mind, in which case that would be good. But again, money is probably going to end up changing hands. So that is the situation right now. And so, yeah, it's not great news, but it's better that it happened 2 months, basically 2 months away from filming than 2 weeks or 2 days. So I will provide updates, of course, as they come through. I'll let you know how my new job is coming along. And I will see you soon after you make that movie that I keep talking about. See ya.